Hey everyone, it's Coach Carly. Welcome to our Coach Sneak Peek. I'm really excited that you're all here this week to check this out. So today is day one. It's all about introductions and getting to know each other, learning why we're all here, and just a little bit about our goals and things like that. So what I'm going to want from each of you after you've watched this video is to post a little introduction, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do now, why you're looking for a change, why coaching interests you, any other hobbies or things like that that you enjoy, just letting us know who you are. And then if you could include a picture with that as well, a current picture, that'd be awesome. Or you can follow my lead and make a video as well. I would love to kind of like see your face and hear you talk. I think that's fun and a better way to connect. So if you're up for that, I really recommend doing that. But if you're more comfortable just doing a little intro, typing it up in the comments below this video, that's totally fine as well. And then, of course, I want to introduce myself and let you know how I got started with coaching and why I'm here and doing this. So, excuse me, a little bit about me, I guess. So, I found coaching right when I really needed it in my life. It was just one of those things where things lined up and I just couldn't turn down this awesome opportunity. So I was working as a pastry chef before this, believe it or not. I had been working at a bake shop for about 2 years and I was miserable. I'd gone to pastry school after college because I just didn't really know what I wanted to do for a job. And I majored in creative writing and was like, I have no idea what I'm doing with this. So I decided to go to culinary school because I've always loved food. I've always loved cooking. So I got my baking and pastry diploma and I moved from Seattle down here to Portland for a baking job. And I liked it at first. And then it was just sort of like everything at this bake shop just fell apart. It was really poorly managed. I was working, long hours, being underpaid, underappreciated. You know how that can be. It's just like really just discouraging to feel like you're putting a lot of energy into something and not getting much back from it. And I would literally spend like any time out of the bake shop when I was home just like bitching about it and like complaining about how much I hated it there and wasn't happy. And it's bad enough to spend like a vast majority of your day at that job that you don't like, but then to come home and like not be able to let go of that negativity and just have it overwhelm all those other times in your life. And I'd like hang out with my coworkers and all we do is complain about everything at the bake shop, and that's just a really not a great way to live. So I was feeling like I was really in a rut and I didn't know what to do next because I didn't have this other career in mind and I didn't really want to like go back to school and invest all that money into more training for something. So I was feeling a little lost, and around this same time, as you can imagine, working at a bake shop, I was trying to get my health in order because I was putting on weight and not feeling very good. I was battling with a really serious sugar addiction. Surprise, surprise, because I would eat pastries at work all day and then I'd come home and my blood sugar would crash and I would just have to like shove food in my face just to like feel alive again. So it was this really bad vicious cycle and it's just really hard to be around sweets all the time. So dealing with that, and then I just never really been like an athletic fitness type of person. The only sport I did growing up was horseback riding. So it's just never really my thing. I always really struggled with it. I always thought going to the gym was so boring. I don't like to run or do anything really monotonous, so like the elliptical and the treadmill, which is what everybody does, right? I thought it was awful, and then I didn't really know how to do the machines to really push myself to ever see any real changes or progress or reach my goals with my body. So, again, really discouraging, and I just felt really lost, and I tried different like diets and things like that. I'd done Weight Watchers for like the summer after college. I did Weight Watchers and had some success with it at first, and then realized that if I wanted to keep seeing weight loss and progress, I had to keep eating less. In my brain, like if you know me at all, I get real hangry. I don't do well being hungry, and because I was eating such nutritionally poor food, all that typical like low fat, low calorie, sugar free, processed health food and diet food, my body was just so hungry all the time for real nutrition. So it was like I had to eat all the time. I never felt satisfied. I'm sure some of you can relate to that feeling. So that traditional dieting of restricting and counting calories and always being hungry was just not for me, and it wasn't working anymore. And that's when my mom turned me on to paleo. So if you've been following me on Instagram, I know that's how most of us connected. You know that I'm a paleo eater. And at first I thought she was like seriously crazy when she told me about this diet where, you know, whole grains aren't healthy anymore and I can't have this and that and whatnot. And, you know, I'm a science nerd. I did study biology in college too, so I decided to start reading some books about it and just really delving into the whole nutrition side of things. And I realized that it made a ton of sense, and it was just about eating foods our bodies are meant to eat and the ones that make us feel good, you know, that promote health and prevent like inflammation and disease and things like that. So I started eating paleo and immediately felt like so much better. I'd had all sorts of digestive issues in college. You know, I was eating all the like refined carbohydrate, just lots of carbs, lots of grain products, and my digestion was a mess. So I was just feeling so much better, like inside and out. My energy levels were better. So that was sort of this big step for me into that whole healthy lifestyle. I'd finally found something that just clicked, that felt right, that made sense. I didn't really feel like I wanted to go back to eating a standard diet. This was it. So that was sort of the first step. And then getting my fitness in line, my coworkers and I got a Groupon for a CrossFit gym, which was so much fun. We really loved it, but we did it for about 10 months, and then we were heading into the holiday season at the bake shop again, and I was working crazy, crazy long hours, and I just couldn't fit the CrossFit classes into my schedule anymore, so I had to drop off with that. So I was looking for something else that I could do to replace that, and that's when my friend found our coach, Amy, on Instagram. So you see, it's not that weird that you've met me on Instagram, because that's how I met my coach and how this whole thing started. And Amy happened to be local, so she invited us over to work out in her garage, and I was really like, I don't know about this, but my friend really wanted to go, and I didn't want her to like get murdered or, you know, going by herself, so I went with her. And it ended up being like that day that, you know, would have ultimately changed my whole life course, because, you know, we worked out with her, we learned about nutrition and her superfood shake that she drinks, and it was just such a great experience, and we signed up to do her program. And the way that, you know, this whole coaching thing works is that you have this accountability group, online private Facebook group, so that when you're doing your program from home, you have someone to go to every single day. You have that accountability and that constant motivation to stay on track. And for me, like, I did my program that was 60 days from start to finish, never missed a day, because I had that, and it was such a game changer for me as someone who could never like stick something through because I just didn't have that accountability, and I felt like if I did miss a day, then it was just over and not worth it. And she just really gave me that mindset of like, just keep moving forward. It's not like a start to finish thing. It's a journey. Health is a journey that you just have to keep going on. And so I just had such a great experience with that. And when she approached me about becoming a coach myself, like I said, I was not happy in my job at the bake shop. I really wanted something new. I wanted to change. And I was really getting interested in health because I was starting to feel really good and figure things out for myself. And I just really wanted to pay that forward and find a way to make this new passion of mine something that I could pursue. And coaching gave me that opportunity. And the fact that I didn't need to go back to school, I didn't need to invest a lot of money to get this business up and running. I really just had to like decide and start and do it, and then grow and move on from there. It was just kind of like I had to. And so that was almost 2 years ago, January 2014, that I signed up to be a coach. So it's been an amazing experience. You know, there's lots of ups and downs of owning your own business, but it's so worth the rewards that come with it. You know, the freedom to do what you want, to set your schedule. I was able to quit my job at the bake shop after about 10 and a half months of coaching.